today, for my next part of this real in-depth look at the brand new 2022 Cayman GT4 RS Clubsport Racer, a car that's been hyped up, as I've said before, and a car that hopes to really change the rules in GT4, bring it more towards GT3, give drivers something really special, really dynamic to race. Today is perfect timing, because today B-Quik Racing are going to strip this car down. They're going to take parts off it. They want to learn about this car. They want to understand it. They want to check everything. They want to get familiar with everything. They want to look at all the details. So today, hopefully, I've brought you some of the big details before. Now I'm going to try and look at some of the smaller details that are not so easy to see when the car's together. Kind of see the car in bits, and we can look at some of the parts. So what I'm going to do really is I'm going to try and not get underfoot too much, but they're pulling this all apart today. Going to put it all back again together today. So I'm just going to hang out. I'm going to try and bring you some of that, the car coming to pieces, and then I'm going to try and show you some of the details, show you some of the neat little tricks, the neat little innovations on this car, the new parts, the little bits, the little features that you'd imagine more on a GT3 car. So that's really the plan. Now you can see a pretty exposed Cayman GT4 RS Clubsport. This has had all its trim stripped off. Now it's going to be washed down, it's going to be cleaned, then everything is going to go back on again. Race teams are obsessive about cleaning. B-Quik's no different. Maybe not to the famous Ron Dennis levels of absolute spotlessness that you got at McLaren, but everything that's come off the car, all those parts, all those plastic trims, those alloy trims that have come off over the last hour that I've shown you, now they're all going to get cleaned, polished before they're put back on the car. So let's get started. The car is washed, it's back in the garage. All these parts that have come off the car are washed, they're gleaming like new. The crew are now going to put them back on the car, but before we do that, I want Jules, who's back with me again, to just explain what's new, the upgraded part, what's different to the first generation car, what changes, what innovations, what tweaks they've made to these parts.
Alright, this one is the bumper of the new generation car. Is little bit different, but I've made an update on. So first of all, they have the flicks here, the air guide, one left, one right on each side. Here, this small carbon part here is like the impact protection part. So it's basically when to not damage too much the floor. So it's like a fuse part. And the big evolution on this bumper is all this airflow part here, as you see, and the intake here, go through the back here and extract the air. from the bumper. Also the lips or the splitter, depending how we can call it, is completely different from the old generation car. That part is the rear floor and diffuser of the car. So basically you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 fans here. Is the air guide to canalize the air under the floor of the car, the really back of the car, and this piece here is the tunnel, you know. So it's like a Formula car diffuser, you know. This part here with the 2 big fans is to extract the maximum of air on the back of the car, and is matching here to this part is slotting on exactly. This is the new engine floor. So basically, as you see, is fully isolated. There are few extraction ducts here for extract the hot air from the engine to the floor. The main evolution of this car are these 2 NACA ducts here to cool down the dry shaft. Okay, so this one is the front suspension. Basically, is pretty the same of the old generation car. So the same caliper, same upright. Suspension, the damper are a little bit different, but pretty same. Drum are almost the same of the old car. So this part, and this one to make like a drum for the brakes cooling. This is the new part here. Is coming directly, the intake coming directly from the bonnet to this duct to cooling the brakes. And this main part here, as you see before on the wheel arch, is to extract the air, the hot air from the tires from outside. Alright, so that is the front wheel arch, the front section. So basically it's a big change compared than the first generation. The radiator outlets have separation to guide the air on the side of the tire. So basically it's to run the air on the side of the tire. Here is the adjuster of the brake blanking, so that is a new big update of the new cars. So here we can slot it down and up, whatever we want the brake blanking. Here is the intake for the brake coolings, and here is the outlet of the brakes. So this one is the front wheel arch rear section. Is similar than the first generation car. The main update is all these fans underneath the wheel arch is to guide the air from the hot air to the tires to the side of the car. Basically the part going up exactly around here, and we have this additional fence, as you see, is going behind there to double the job.
So that's it for me from this look at the Cayman GT4 RS Clubsport. I think I've been through with a fine-tooth comb. Today we've looked at all those little details, all those little tweaks that have been made everywhere on the car, because they stripped all these parts off, these plastic parts, to wash, clean and check. So big thank you to Jules again for looking through, and we've seen that they've spent a lot of time thinking about this car, a lot of time trying to put little details, little features, little innovations, little novelties that make the car a little bit more special, a little bit more potent in every area. Case of looking at everything, focusing on details as well as the big picture. That's very Porsche. Of course, this car has got a 4-litre engine in it now, up from the 3.6 of the first gen, so it's going to be potent as well. So all done here. Another hour this car is going to be ready to hit the racetrack in anger.